And now, Daljit Dhaliwal.
In an op-ed in Germany's Der Spiegel, its Washington correspondent Gabor Steingart criticizes what he calls President Obama's double XL-sized stimulus plan that he believes will lead to an even greater U.S. deficit. Instead, he argues that the president and Congress should look to the actions of post-war Germany's economic minister, Ludwig Erhard. Erhard gave the German state its longest economic boom from 1949 to 1966 and turned it into one of the world's leading exporters by the 1970s. Gabor, thank you very much for coming back on the program. Good to see you again.
Great to have me here.
Yeah, just describe how the economic crisis is affecting Germany's economy, first of all, for us.
The German economy is affected very, very heavily. The growth rate will come down between 3 and 5% during this year. So all the export industry is suffering right now, because also China and India were cutting down their imports. So I think we will see also unemployment coming up. We will see a growing debt.
And the German government was reluctant to adopt a stimulus package at first, but it's done that. What are the main planks of the plan, and do most Germans believe that it's going to fix the problems of the economy?
I'm quite sure most Germans know exactly that it will not work. We have our own experience during the 70s. We have designed a lot of this stimulus package during the recession there. The chancellor was Helmut Schmidt, and it was also a popular political design then to make stimulus packages. And the only thing we earned from this were more streets, more TV sets, and more public debt.
Well, that kind of brings me to the crux of your op-ed in Der Spiegel, where you describe the U.S. stimulus plan as postponing America's hangover for one more time. So what would your advice have been to President Obama, that he should just shelve this and start again with something completely different?
It's not possible, I know this, and he has a social responsibility, and it's an act of humanity to start some social programs for people who are hurt by this crisis, because you don't have a welfare state which is as big as the European. So he needs money for the unemployed people, for people without health insurance. But the economic part, so I think he is right with the social part of this package. But the economic part, I'm sure, will not work, because you are not there because your bridges or streets were not well. You are there for different reasons, but not for that. Your public infrastructure is as it is, but it's not 1% of the reason for this crisis. So to invest in public infrastructure will not solve the problem. You have to invest in education, in green-collar jobs, so in future jobs, in 21st century jobs. These old-style jobs will not bring profitable businesses. Out of these bridges, you never can craft a world-class economy.
So you don't believe that it was correct to bail out the banks then?
No, I think they have failed. Obviously, a lot of these banks have failed, and we should allow them to fail, to get bankrupt. And at the end, they will be. Even Roosevelt, and a lot of people forget this, more than 10,000 American banks at that time went out of business. That would be my call to the U.S. government and to everybody who listens to our conversation and to the big conversation in this country, to be realistic. Government cannot bring back what it's lost. If the car industry, to make it very simple, the car industry in Detroit has failed to build cars which people want to buy. It's not a profitable business. I think only Ford lost $3 billion during the last 12 weeks.
In your op-ed, you also say that during this time, the United States should look to Ludwig Erhard's Wirtschaftswunder model, the economic miracle, to try and rescue our economy. How can the lessons of post-war Germany be applicable to the calamity that we're in right now?
The concept of Ludwig Erhard, I think, was the same concept which made Americans the biggest economy in the world. Three things: work hard, play fair, and save money before you spend money. These are very basic rules. If you try the opposite, if you accept that the economy and big parts of the economy are not working hard but speculation. 40% of all the profits during the Bush era came out of the banking system, not out of profitable normal jobs, but out of the banking system, which speculated too much. If you allow this, you will never get a real healthy economy. And you have to tell the people that they have to save. You have to bring some amount of money to the bank. You have a saving right now of 0 in the US. That's not sustainable. And the US right now, one very interesting figure I brought to your show, 75% of all the private savings around the globe are now consumed by the households of the US. And that's much too much. 75% of the global savings of all the Germans, Japanese, Chinese, Indian people. And now, on top, the stimulus package, that's too much. The hangover which will follow will be much bigger than the hangover we are suffering now.
All right, Gabor Steingart, very nice to see you again. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me here.